Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 80 of the Stateside Report UK. I'm your host, Stateside Gab. Over there, Mr. OKC, Mr. Asna, Stateside Hamph. Your boys got away with it today. It's a smelly game, but as you do.
Skin of our teeth. if hey, we'll take what we get. Do you know what I mean? If we recorded this yesterday, I would have been in a completely different mood. But I mean, what do they call it? A smash and grab. Those
Something
are the
like that.
best. Those are the best type of wins. You know what I mean? The wins
Yeah.
that almost seems undeserved, and then you sneak it just right at death. Nothing sweeter. Nothing sweeter. Obviously, everyone
It could
sees.
have it could have been sweeter, Saturday could have been a bit sweeter, but hey, we know we move.
Like I said, I'm not a selfish boy. I'll take one out of the four. If you gave me all four, sure, of course I'll take it. But
You know
if
how
you give me one
nasty.
of the
This is why I
four,
don't like none. No. This is why I don't like none of you lot because it was only
bro,
a few weeks ago. These were telling me four.
don't.
I should
And
get
like I
rid.
said,
Look at me,
I wanted,
my dry fingers. Look, that's
I
how many
wanted,
you told me. Four.
bro, I wanted all four. Don't get it twisted. I wanted all four, but realistically, I knew that dream was gonna come crashing down at some point, and I took it
Right.
on the chin. You know what I mean,
Man got slapped out of two of them back to back.
with every
Easy like
loss, I got corned. I took it on the chin. It's like there are better days ahead, man. Do you know what I mean? The sun will shine on us later on in the summer. So let me not stress it too much. I mean, I'm in a good mood. OKC as well. Looking like we're playing our best basketball. Coming to the end of the season. Obviously, this is the last week, so yeah, I think things are on the up and up. You know what I mean? Hopefully, we stay injury free and go back to back. And Shea gets his back to back MVP. And we call it a day, won't we?
Well, it's nicely that you start there. To be fair,
Right.
we're not gonna. I was gonna give you a Kings update. It's nothing really to update. I'll be honest. It's not looking good. It's not been looking good all year. So we might as well just get straight. Don't.
Get him next time.
That's-
You remember the last time United played?
yeah, let's get to our MVP chat, shall we?
Oh
No,
no.
if I actually didn't clock this until recently, and that probably shows you just where my head is at these days. All the MVP contenders are in the West, and I was like, oh, it's very
Facts.
convenient for
Yeah.
us, very convenient for us in regards to starting in what's going on in the Western Conference right now. One of them has gone down, and we'll talk about Luka in a short while in regards to what it means for his team. But I guess you could say that this kind of season is hitting a boiling point a little bit, because as we were just talking off camera, the season's going to end next week by this
This
week's
weekend.
end.
Yeah.
Because in regards to the race for the most prestigious individual award, it's a lot to play for right now. If I could paint the picture for the people, then Shea Gilgeous Alexander. Let me put some respect on his full name.
MVP.
He is. He's the current favorite at the minute, and it's no secret that he's having an historic year on efficiency, shooting the ball mid-range, free throw line. It's important to throw that in there. In the paint as well. You look at Jokic and what he's doing at the minute as well. He's up there. Wemby, he just got injured. So it looks like
Oh,
he's not
good.
gonna. It looks like he's not gonna play too much part in regards to the Spurs' end of season running. And Luka, of course, as we know, is out. He's actually in Europe right now, trying to get some sort of resolution for his hamstring issue.
Compound V
I'm
is
back.
what they're calling it.
A needle here, needle there, bit of this, bit of that.
Rejecting that illegal European stuff. And get back on the court.
But before we get stateside Hump's take, I mean, we already know what he's going to say and we know what side he's coming from. But before we can get into the schematics and everything in regards to it, I can't remember an MVP race as close as this one with so many people involved. Usually it's the case of maybe there's two people that's battling for it. And there's the odd exception of, somebody just having that great of a year where it's like it's undeniable. That's the MVP. You can't say nothing. Jokic just had a few of those years. Giannis has had a few of those years in the past as well. But you're looking at this race specifically this year, 25-26. It's historic stuff that we're seeing in regards to four people that have legitimate claims to win an MVP award.
I think it just speaks to the quality of the top end talent. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, some are saying that the top end talents kind of regress from your prime KD, Steph's, LeBron's, all of that, Kawhi's. But I'm saying every era is different. Do you know what I mean? With this era, there's a lot of consistency. They're shattering records. You know what I mean? Some are having MVP type seasons, breaking records, and they might not even win the MVP. Do you know what I mean? So, um, like I'm saying, I almost thought it's harder to even win the MVP than it is to win a championship. Of course, it's a little bit hyperbolic from my end, but when you're looking at someone like Luca that's already averaged 34 points and close to a triple double in 2024, didn't win the MVP, wasn't even in the top two. And you're looking at him this season, almost the same, walking triple double with leading the league in scoring, won't win the MVP. Jokic, a walking triple double. All of a sudden now they care about triple doubles. When Russ was doing it, he stepped at it.
It was taboo.
But I digress. You know what I mean? But Jokic is out here stuffing his stat sheet as a center. You know what I mean? He's won 3 out of the last 4
Mm.
MVPs, and he probably might not even win it because you've got someone in OKC that is going to lead his team to the best record for the 3rd season in a row. You know what I mean? That's won the championship. That's broken records set by Wilt. I mean, that's putting up records in conjunction with Michael Jordan. Like the level is so high. The level is so high with the players that we just mentioned. And not even to talk about Wemby. I mean, with his, with his play on both ends of the court. I mean,
Mm.
defensively, offensively, the gravity that he has on the offensive side of the ball, him being the anchor for that Spurs team that are winning all these games. It's hard. It's hard to win the MVP, but like I keep saying to everyone, we all know where the MVP resides in Oklahoma, and that's exactly where it's going to be again this season. So it's good for this. It's good for the sport. A couple of people were like, "Oh, I bet you like celebrated when Luca went down," but I hate seeing injuries, especially to like the top. Like, obviously, you wish injury on anyone, but for the
Mm.
product, for like the storylines. I mean, because that's obviously what we do. It gives us stuff to talk about, especially with it being the Lakers as well. But if Luca's going down and then Austin Reeves has gone down as well, that just, bro, Lakers season imploded in front of my very eyes watching that game.
Mm.
Even though yeah they got blown out, but that would have been just one game. You know what I mean, they still would have given themselves a chance with Luca playing the way he was playing. But with Luca now injured, it's a sad thing.
Yeah, it is. We'll touch on the Lakers, in a second. I wanted to get back to one of your points in regards to, there's people that would argue that the quality in regards to at least the top players and, this race for MVP has made the NBA a little bit like saturated, like everyone being on the same level. I can make an argument that the NBA has a talent pool that's higher than it's ever been. Just because, you're thinking of the prime years of, LeBron winning MVP, Steph winning MVP, KD winning MVP. The, I'm thinking of when LeBron James was at his peak. Everybody was always saying, like, this is the best player in the league de facto. There's nobody that could touch him. There's nobody that is on his level, as good as KD was, as good as, Steph was ascending to be in that moment as well. And I'm thinking of the, league now in the current landscape, this MVP race. And it's like, you ask 10 different people who is, the best player in the league, who's the best player in the world, you're probably going to get 10 different answers. I wanted to get your take on it in regards to what you think of, I guess, obviously the overall landscape of the MVP race and how the top echelon seem to all be eating at the same table. Do you think that is? Do you agree with me in that sense that the MVP in my eyes is probably, I'm saying it, probably better than it's ever been in regards to having talent for talent, rather it being like 1 or 2 players, and then everybody else is just not to their level.
100%. I mean, you do make a great point in that because if you look at the teams that are winning in the regular season, that win in the postseason, is the depth because the top end talent they all cancel each other out to an extent. Do you know what I mean? Back in the day, it was the superstar talent. I mean, to an extent, it still is now. But if you teams that tend to be top heavy can win with can win, but now you need your fifth, sixth, seventh guy to come on and give you production because the MVPs are canceling each other out in some way or another. You know what I mean? Because like you said, the talent pool is so close, or it's closer than it's ever been. You know what I mean? But and like I said, it's just great for the sport because the storylines everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm probably gonna, be a man and stick with my convictions. The NBA is the best that it's ever been in my eyes. Anyway, in regards to the talent level, like you said, the stories that keep emerging because the talent level is so deep. But we digress. We can maybe discuss it another day. We're going to stick to our Western Conference preview at the minute, and we were just talking about the Lakers. No more Luka Doncic, at least for the the short term, and it looks like the same thing with Austin Reeves. It means that the old man, the 40-year-old, up you get, buddy. Number one option, LeBron James hoops is back. Obviously it's a massive shame in regards to like what you were saying. To be fair, in regards to Luka not being there. The Lakers had a real shot in regards to maybe not going all the way and winning a championship, as much as their fans would like to say so. But they were looking like a team that could at least make noise. You know, I'm looking at the first game of LeBron James' first option hoops. That was against the Dallas Mavericks. They lost the
Yep.
game, but LeBron James, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 15 assists, only 4 turnovers. He did what he could, and that's what it's going to be in regards to, the Lakers coming into this end of the season running and maybe the first round of the playoffs. Uh, you mentioned that you're worried about the Lakers' playoff future, I guess you could say. But in regards to, LeBron James kind of rolling back the years, I mean, it's nice, People are nostalgia merchants these days. That's all right, isn't it?
You, in this situation, you tend to feel sorry for LeBron. You know what I mean? Because this guy's coming to the league carrying a team, and he's gonna end his career in the NBA carrying a team again. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, in the space of what five-ish minutes, Lucas hamstring goes, Austin Reeves back or oblique or wherever that goes as well. Do you know what I mean? There's a soft tissue injury. They're not coming back from that. I mean, even if you come back in the first round, bro, the Rockets who everyone wanted, they now want the Lakers because they're hampered, bro. LeBron will put up his numbers, of course, but who's he gonna pass the ball to? Bronny, Bryce, Savannah, like who?
Jury, who you
Like,
got for me? Yeah.
he might as well bring his whole family onto the court. I mean, you saw like Bronny just isn't at the level. You saw what Casey Wallace done to him when he was trying to bring the ball up 3 times and getting picked off. You just like he's got the physical tools, but the feel of the game, like he's just not at the level. That's a G League type player. He's still supposed to be in college right now, but there's that's the way the cookie crumbles in that. But the Lakers as a whole, it's not like they're not good enough. It's just the personnel that they've lost is just a shot in the arm because, as we've always said, with this Lakers team, they're top heavy, and their top heavy talent have gone down. So that's kind of yeah, that's just how it's gone for the Lakers, which is very unlucky.
It is, and it speaks to kind of what I remember we had a LeBron James conversation not that long ago in regards to how he should end his career and how it should ideally go, and I came back and I'd be like, bro, sports ain't perfect. Not most people do not get their fairy book tale ending, and I like to think LeBron James is, what the closest thing to that was supposed to be Lakers in contention, competing for a championship, rolling down his last years, but competing for something. And, he still hasn't confirmed or denied that this is going to be his last year. And it could be a case of he's going to spend it crashing out the first round, things are not perfect in sports. And, that is very unfortunate. I hope that this is not the last of, LeBron. And I hope that he has at least one more, if I'm greedy, 2 more years in the chamber, just because we've seen what he can do as a third option for the Lakers and take a
Right.
backseat role and do it very well, might I add. But it just goes to show you, man. This thing is not perfect, and for most people, no matter how good you are, Father Time don't discriminate, man.
100%. But I mean, it's not really his level. It's just the team constructed around him, and obviously they're unlucky. Like you said, sports is not perfect. That's what makes sports as beautiful as it is, and as tragic as it is. Because you think you can write it, but you really can't. You know what I mean, for Arsenal winning the double, like whatever, like you know.
No, say quadruple. Say you can say quadruple. That's all right. It's okay.
We might beat the odds and win the double this and win the double this year. But I'm just saying, I feel sorry for LeBron. I really do. Do you know what I mean? But he's always come out and said that he's not gonna leave the league where it's kind of like a till the wheels fall off sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And he's been the third option for the Lakers, or has played like it this year. But then when he's called to play as a first option, you've seen what he's done against Dallas. He still has that in him. But how much of that can he give you in a playoff like setting when he's coming up against an Emin Thompson with a Kevin Durant and those big wings and forwards that the Houston Rockets have that they're gonna throw at him and his son. You know what I mean? It's a sad situation for the Lakers. As much as I like to take the piss out of the Laker fans, You don't like to see that. You know what I mean? Luka, when he's playing some of his best basketball, if not the best basketball of his career, and then he goes down with a grade 2 hamstring injury, yeah, the season's over. Season's done for.
Yeah. I was disagreeing in regards to I don't think like I trust LeBron because he's not giving me any reason not to trust him in regards to is he going to turn up or fold in the playoffs. 20 years of NBA basketball will tell you that he's going to turn up and he's going to give you everything that he has. But everybody else around him, that's the question now because
That's what
obviously
I'm
you're losing a lot of buckets, a lot of talent by losing obviously your two other best players. Yes, he's going to step up and fill in the gaps where he can. Is everybody else? Probably not.
The gaps are too big for him to just fill it himself. When you
Yeah,
take
man.
Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, bro, I'm not even gonna try and sugarcoat it for Lakers fans, man. It's over.
GG's.
It's done for. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's yeah. It, again, it's for the storyline of the NBA. Though. That's what I'm saying. And I always try and look at it because fan from the UK, and I'm saying in the playoff time, I imagine like a casual fan, they just turn. It's like, oh, what's everyone talking about basketball? You know what I mean? Why's everyone talking about the Lakers? Why? Because Laker tax. Do you know what I mean? There's always going to be noise around that. And you
Mhm.
see Luka's doing step back threes, and Austin Reeves doing this, and LeBron's dunking in an open court, and this and the other. I'm a Laker fan now. I'm a Doncic fan. I'm a this. But when they're not in the playoffs, I'm saying when you lose star players, superstar players going into the playoffs, it's sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It hurts the sport. It hurts the product, and that's kind of how I see it as well, from like a
Yeah.
casual fan tuning into the players because really and truly, that's where most people finally start to get tapped into the sport.
Oh yeah, for sure. The playoffs is the most exciting time in the NBA calendar. And somebody or a team that 100% agree with that, and I've made this decision because of it. It's the Golden State Warriors because little old Steph, he's back. It's not the first time that we've seen somebody have long term or big injury, miss majority of the season. I'd come back just because it's looking a bit rosy. It looks like we can make some noise now because a few dominoes are folded. In that case, for the Golden State Warriors, they believe that look, if Curry's anywhere near ready to go, we have a chance of doing something. To Stateside what is your immediate reaction once you heard and once you saw, by the way? I think it was only Sunday when he came back against the Houston Rockets. I saw the final shot, a bit questionable in regards to the shot that he took and was created. But whatever the case is, what do you make of Stephen Curry coming back and helping the Warriors make some noise in their play-in, playoff hopes?
I mean, I'm not surprised with what Curry's shown me. You know what I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, bro, he's done this for his whole career. I mean, whether he takes some time off, that's what makes him the superstar player that he is because he can take some time off, come back and not be rusty. I mean, come back and look like he's been playing regular basketball. But I want to ask you this question: do you think Golden State? How can I word it? Do you think Golden State has failed Curry in terms of how they've built this current team around him with what he still has left in the tank?
Good question. My immediate answer is no. I feel like they've been very aggressive in places where over the last few years, you think about the moves that they've tried to make in regards to let's get Curry as many championships as we can. They brought in Wiggins and obviously had to do a lot of work, but he turned into a very valuable piece in regards to helping them win a championship, a few years ago. You think of the moves that they made recently in regards to bringing in someone like Jimmy Butler. I think that was obviously he's older, but it was an aggressive move because they still think that their window is somewhat open in regards to competing with the younger but better teams in the Western Conference. I feel like they've pushed out talent in regards to maybe they should be prioritizing the development of somebody like a Kuminga and people like Moses Moody and people like that, even though he's injured at the moment, and that's unfortunate. But they've pushed people like that out of the frame in regards to let's bring in more win now kind of players and people that are helping the cause get Steph Curry a championship or another championship anyway. Chris Paul was not that long ago in the Golden State Warriors team because they thought he could help them win. So they've done pretty much everything that they can in regards to helping develop what they have and being in win now mode so that they can help him win the championship. After that point, it's just luck. Unfortunately, Jimmy Butler went down. Unfortunately, Moses Moody has to go down. Unfortunately, they're just a lot older than a lot of teams around them. There's a lot of factors that's not going to help them, but those factors are all luck related. But I can't say that they failed because the Golden State Warriors and their front office very stable, very reliable, and very aggressive as well. Yeah, a lot of teams can learn from the moves that they've made over the last few years in regards to building a dynasty and doing their best to maintain it, even winning a championship at the back end of their dynasty as well. So I
Yeah.
can't really say that they've failed him. I think they've done everything they can. Their failures this season, in my opinion, anyway, have just come down to being unlucky.
I hear that, but I feel like certain superstar players, like a LeBron, really, I feel like they shake the foundation of the front office to say, I need this player. If I'm to do anything, get me this player, get me that player, or because I'd feel like with how Curry's playing, other star players definitely want to play with him. I mean, there's always been like rumblings of, can Giannis go to Golden State to pair with Steph? Like the rim pressure and the force that Giannis puts at the basket with
Hmm.
Steph's 3-point shooting off
And
ball.
you remember
Maybe
the report saying during the trade deadline they tried to trade for him.
that's what I'm saying. Because but then when you have someone like Jimmy Butler, we obviously like unfortunately he's injured. I never thought he was good enough because they brought him in 120 mil for 2 years, and he's almost pushing 40. It's like he's 37, 38. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, really and truly, was he really going to help push them over the edge or really like legitimately contend? And my answer to that, I don't think is no. I don't think so.
I disagree just because there's only so much that is gonna be like, readily available in regards to what's the best players that we could bring in to help us win now,
Right.
As good as, Giannis is gonna be, this is one of the best players in the world. Like those players are just not available all the time. And I understand that Jimmy's an aging player, but you think about it in regards to what they did with Iguodala, in regards to, he was an older player that was, I wouldn't say petering out the league, that's harsh, but in regards to actually finding a home and a steady role on the team, he didn't have that for a long time. But they brought him into the Golden State situation. They even made him accept a six-man role. And look how he's, looked at in regards to their fans and a lot of NBA people's eyes. He's a bloody finals MVP because he brought into where it was at an advanced age. So I think bringing in Jimmy Butler was a fantastic move. And the back end of what it was last year when, Steph Curry was having his struggles in the playoffs, hey, Jimmy Butler was doing what he could do, man.
Right. Right. I mean, it's definitely obviously something we'll post to the people out there.
Yeah.
So just let us know. Do you feel like Golden State have failed in building a legit team around Curry to give him another chance of winning the championship? Or
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's definitely a good debate topic just because, look, maybe I'm being too nice. Maybe they should just go get Giannis. I don't know. Maybe they should have just done whatever it took.
But because the levels Curry's playing at, that obviously he showed you against Houston, bro, he shouldn't be in the 10th spot. He should be trying to fight his way to get into the eighth seed to face OKC in the first round, knowing what's gonna happen.
Mm.
It's yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. May agree to disagree, Stateside, please.
Of
Agree to
course, of
disagree,
course.
I guess. We don't agree on a lot anyway, to be honest with you. So
That's right.
you don't have to agree with me. I don't actually care because you don't agree with me on a lot of things anyway.
Exactly. But I wanted to pose that to you and see what you're thinking because I've been thinking about it for the past like week and a bit, so I thought I'd bring it up to you.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Be sure to like, share, comment, rate, subscribe if you enjoy what you're listening to at the minute. All the debate, all the news, all the views. That's what
On
we
the
do.
hard hitting topics.
You get me. We don't stray away
Cool.
from anything on the Stateside
Okay.
Report UK. Shall we play a game?
Let's play a game. Let's do it.
Let's do it, matey. Let's do it. Don't know if you saw, by the way, Michigan national champions. They won it. They won the thing. They got rings on their fingers now.
Speaking of,
I can't say I'm the biggest college hoops fan, but fair enough. Fair play to Michigan, I guess. You let Yaxel Lindenborg, their best player, I think. The only reason I even know him is because he's been shooting my face off in 2K for the last like 2 weeks. So fair enough. Did you keep up with the college hoops in any regards, Stateside up?
only thing I really saw was the best players that I wanted to see in like the final four and Sweet 16. They all kept getting knocked out. Like AJ DeBanto was getting knocked out and Darren Peterson. I'm like, bro, why are they not in the later stages? But because it's such a one and done sort of thing,
Mm.
like you said, nothing's guaranteed in sports. So that's just
Exactly,
how
and
they end up being.
you have to remember as well, like, I can't remember what it's called. I literally just left my head. What's the system that they pay the players now?
NIL.
And thank you very much. NIL deals are now a thing as well. So it's no longer a case of, you remember a few years ago, for example, when Zion, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett were just a super team in Duke.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had other good players over there as well, but those were the big three. It was more of an agreement of, oh, okay, we all like each other. Let's go play together, you know? Now it's just a case of, hey, who's giving me the biggest bread? You know, who's giving me most amount of money? And fair enough, but then understand if you do that, then maybe your team that you're around just might not be that good for that year because you're only going to be around for that year, you know?
Right.
So it's a very interesting landscape in regards to college basketball. What would you do if you were a D1 hooper, stateside up, D1 level, and you have the choice of go to the team with the most money or go to a team that's, you know, it's paying you all right and you get to play with some mates as well? What would you do?
The latter stages, the latter of what you said. I mean, actually,
Remember, this is college now. You go make money in the NBA. My opinion, anyway, you're going to make money in the NBA regardless.
true, true. Yeah,
If
so
you're him, really him.
you definitely want to play with your boys. Do you know what I mean? Like college is all about that type of, what do you call it? Like making memories and stuff. Do you know what I mean, you're gonna come to the NBA and it's gonna be very difficult. You're all gonna, separate and stuff. So if you can find a chance to play with your boys in college and get paid a little bit of, money, you take that. You take
Money.
that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You could do what
Crazy
AJ.
how
Go on.
that big three kind of fall off though. The Duke big three with Zion, RJ, and Cam Reddish.
Do you know what's? No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. It's not true. There's some people that would argue that RJ Barrett is now the best three, or the best out of those three.
And that makes my point. That further emphasizes my point. That big three has fallen off drastically, bro. If RJ Barrett, who I still think his game still looks the same as it did coming out of college. I was watching the Raptors Celtics the other day. I was like, bro,
Not moving
RJ.
you.
But he never has. Never did. And he never proved me wrong, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
That's unfortunate. I'd watch his future, by the way, just because I know, the Raptors have drafted some young guards as of recently, and a couple of them have some promise. They're paying RJ. I don't think they're paying him like the most money in the world, but he's not cheap, So I'd watch his future in regards to, maybe in the off season if they're trying to make some moves, if they think they can get better. Giannis, keep
I,
tabs. I'm just saying.
Giannis ain't coming back to Milwaukee next season, man.
Nah, and we'll touch on it shortly. We'll touch on it shortly as well. But anyway, we're playing games. Stateside, what's going on? Come on now, playing games. We haven't done Winner Stays On in a good while. Good while. I was gonna do it next week, but I think we're gonna guest up next week a little bit. We're gonna have somebody special coming on. I think. Who it is? Don't know yet, lads. But we'll find them. Don't worry. Let the stories emerge. Excuse me. So because of that, I'm gonna fast forward what we're gonna do next week anyway. We're gonna do a bit of winner stays on. We're gonna look at the teams towards the bottom, the lottery teams. Yeah, no, and it kind of coincides in regards to the college season. It's now done. These players are finished. The scouts now have to do their due diligence and now scout who's going to be the best players here, there, top of the draft, bottom of the draft, whatever the case is. I want you to do a winner stays on. Who are the best teams? I don't know how to word it, and I should have probably thought about it before I've gone into my little soliloquy there. But basically, I'm going to do winner stays on of all the lottery teams. And if you were a draft prospect, which team would you most want to go to for your own reasons? It could be, the development. It could be the lifestyle. It could be if they're a decent team now. Whatever it is, what is the best lottery team to fall into? Do you understand? Can you do it for me? Can you do it for the people?
I'm with you. Let's do it.
I think it makes sense. So here we go. Winner stays on. Best lottery team to fall into: the Utah Jazz or the Washington Wizards.
As currently constructed,
For your own reasons.
give me the Utah Jazz. I like what the Jazz got going on. They've got some great young players. Their front court looks big, is dominant, and it has a lot of promise with obviously Triple J and Finnish player.
Marketing.
Larry Marketing, yeah. I like what they got going on over there. I know obviously they're bottom of the West right now, but I like the promise. Obviously, Ace Bailey there as well. I feel like if I was a D1 player and if I was a college player going to a team, it'll be Utah instead of the Washington Wizards.
The Sacramento Kings or the Brooklyn Nets?
Can I stay in college for one more year?
It ain't that bad. It's hot. It's nice weather.
Ah, get me to New York, man. Get me to New York. Yeah, I mean, get me to New York. For the basketball,
Uh,
probably not, but get me to New York somehow.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm just getting
the
very.
the Memphis Grizzlies or the Indiana Pacers?
The Pacers. I mean, even LeBron don't even want to be at the Grizzlies. You know what I mean? You don't even want to be in Memphis, so why am I going there? You know what I mean? Hey, yeah, get me to the Pacers. This year has been a down year for the Pacers for obvious reasons. Once Tyrese comes back, I think they should be able to get a good player in the draft as well. I think Tyrese is just going to grease the wheel of the offense and just inject the life back into this Pacers team, and they should be a dominant team next season. And yeah, if I was a college player, I definitely want to be a part of that project. And if you're playing with someone like Tyrese, you're getting good looks anyway. I mean, you'll get fed.
The New Orleans Pelicans or the Milwaukee Bucks?
Bleak. I'll say the Pelicans because they've got more younger players, and it looks like it's they almost. I say that very loosely. They look like they have like a clearer direction that they're going at with the young players, and obviously wanting to grow them. So I definitely want to be part of that project rather than Milwaukee. They ain't got a clue what they're doing.
And last two, because these are the teams that are confirmed to be lottery teams. The Dallas Mavericks or the Chicago Bulls?
I mean, the Bulls obviously we'll touch on them, but given I'd rather play with the Mavericks as well. They'll probably be one team that will be back in the postseason next season. Obviously with Cooper Flag development, Kyrie coming back as well. A good draft pick. I definitely want to be part of a project like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Who would you be your number one team to land on if you was to look at all the lottery teams in the league at the minute? Which one is the most intriguing?
Let me check.
In my eyes, if I
Let
had
me look
to
at.
pick for myself,
Mm.
I probably Brooklyn would interest me just in regards to like if I was a lottery pick and I was really feeling myself, I could be like I could be the king of New York. No, why not? The Pacers could be interesting if Tyrese comes back.
Uh, I'd
Would I
probably
play a
say
lot? I don't
Dallas.
know.
I'll probably say
Mm.
Dallas. Yeah, be part of the group that resurrected what Nico killed.
Like he sounds like Nico took him round back and said bang.
Yeah, I mean, with our history in that sort of sense. Yeah, I mean, Nico really messed up, bro. He threw a grenade in that room and run off, man.
Yeah,
So
man. Shout out to Nico.
I'll probably say Dallas. If not Dallas, the Pacers in the East.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Well, if anything, let's go to the East right now. Let's see what's happening in the Eastern Conference. I did want to start with one of the teams we just mentioned there, the Bulls. Fired their GM and vice president as well. So they're cleaning up shop. I saw that they were in the running for Mike Malone. Funny enough, I'm going to speak about Mike Malone a little bit later. I'm going to paint the picture for you as much as I can. I'm not a Bulls fan, but I did listen to the best Bulls fan, Kenny, King of the Fourth Quarter. I do like his YouTube channel and I do like his style of broadcasting when he's on TV as well. He explained in regards to what Bulls fans have gone through over the last probably best part of a decade, to be honest, in regards to, I remember when Jim Paxton was there and they hated him. They loved him for what he was as a player in regards to him, Michael Jordan, the early teams when they were winning championships. Yeah, cool, nice. But as a GM executive,
Right.
as a GM executive, when it was making moves that were all wrong post the D Rose era. So you can imagine how bad, it got for them in moments. And obviously, fast forward to now, they fired another pair of, executives and GMs, as I just said earlier. And it came down to the fact that, their team wasn't moving forward in regards to their asset management was very poor. They never were really picking high in the draft and they were never making any moves to acquire any good picks. The players that they were always bringing were always people that were I know you didn't work on that team, but maybe you can work on this team. Josh Giddey's maybe one of those examples that, yes, in spurts has been good, but unfortunately hasn't done enough to really convince majority of the full Bulls fan base, and obviously the owners as well, because otherwise the GM would still be there, that, this is a real positive piece and somebody that we can stamp our future on. Unfortunately, that's not the case right now. Stateside Humph, when I'm putting this Bulls, situation in front of you, and I want you to maybe put your shoes in, I want you to put, your feet in their shoes. If you was a Bulls fan, if you're hearing, this front office who hasn't been doing niche for the best part of a decade is now gone, what's your reaction? Are you celebrating? Are you thinking, oh, this is a positive move for the future? Or is this like, hey, this is the Bulls, man, I don't know what the hell is going on anymore?
Well, I mean, obviously, you hope to be optimistic with obviously firing the current GM and vice president over there because, bro, all I keep hearing every time I talk to Bulls fans is that the higher ups aren't good enough. Do you know what I mean, the problems start with the crooks in suits upstairs. You know what I mean, so if you're bringing in new people, you hope for them to be more aggressive in terms of making the necessary trades, bringing in the right players in the draft to resurrect the Bulls again, man. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, we're
I
done with
can't
the
remember
nineties.
the last good draft pick they had. I can't remember the last one.
That's what I'm saying.
Patrick
Obviously, they got
Williams. Sorry.
Martin Buzelis, bro. They Bulls fans hate Patrick Williams.
Bro,
You know
he's
what I mean?
he's probably, no joke, worst contract in the league right now.
Bro, they paid him as well, didn't they?
They paid him, and if you look at his I'm gonna get his numbers for you right now. You go ahead. I'm gonna get his
That's what
numbers
I'm
right now.
saying. It's like when you've got players like Patrick Williams and you're paying him as well. That just says it all. I like Buzelis, but obviously there's still a bit of um, time for him to grow. Josh Giddey, as you mentioned, can be a walking triple double, but I'd say you'd have to give him a bit of time on that. But then you're looking at the Bulls fans. That's all they've been doing. They've been giving these players time. They're giving the organization time to get back to the glory days. But it just seems like they just keep straying further and further away. And it seemed that the GM and the vice president, they've been comfortable being in purgatory, not being too bad and not being too good. Do you know what I mean? And that's probably the worst place you want to be as an organization. You know what I mean? Always being one of the quintessential playing teams. And unfortunately, this season they didn't even get into the play-in. So something had to give. You know what I mean? Something had to give, and I feel like they made the right decision, or they'll make a right decision if they bring in people better than who they fired.
Patrick Williams' numbers, by the way, in 20 minutes of play across the season, about 6 points, about 3 rebounds, 1 assist, shooting 36% from the field, 34% from free.
Oh,
Stinky, -5, plus minus as well across his games.
he's like a worse version of OG Ananobi. Every time I see him, like
I remember when, they had a decent little run when it was him, DeRozan, Levine, Lonzo,
Caruso.
Vucevic. Yes.
Vucevic was
Um,
there. Caruso was there.
yes. I remember when it was talk around, oh, do the Bulls bring in, another player to be a trade to take them over the top? It was always like, yeah, they probably should, but they should keep Patrick Williams though, because Patrick Williams is the future. And now look, it's these kind of decisions where it's like you see somebody and you probably see the signs from early on, but
Mm.
you're, convincing yourself like, oh, this has to work, this has to work, this has to work. At
Like
some point when it
premature
doesn't,
startup.
do, do you get it? Do you know what I mean? We spoke about players that are untouchable for weird reasons, Patrick Williams was one of those guys, and now they're reaping not the benefits, but whatever the opposite is, because
Yeah,
he's not doing anything.
they're suffering the thing of keeping him.
Yeah, exactly. They have to bear the brunt of, paying him all that money. And it'll be interesting. I'm going to keep tabs in regards to what they do in regards to their GM situation. I know Masai Ujiri is now a WNBA GM now. He's the Toronto team that's starting up there. He's over there, so he's gone. I saw they might be tapping up Bob Myers, who of course was Golden State's GM for a very long time. That'll be a
Right.
good acquisition in regards to he knows what it takes to actually have a stable organization, put in front of somebody. Lastly, before we move on from the Bulls, though, Billy D, somebody that you will know very well as
Gaffer.
a yeah, man. He was gaffer for a long time for OKC. He's apparently taken a lot of the blame for this as well. And if what you were saying in regards to Bulls fans say that there's not a lot of talent on this team and the high ups don't know what they're doing, if that is the case, then is that a little bit harsh on Billy D to, turn, sugar honey iced tea into chocolate cake?
I mean, coaches naturally will bear the brunt of any sort of like whether you're losing games, whether you have a losing record, whether there's no progression in the team. I mean, that's why there is a hierarchy. Do you know what I mean? When you win, get all the praise, but when you lose, you have to bear the blame as well. But there's only so much. There's only so, like you said, there's only so much you can turn water to wine in a situation like this. And as good as a coach and as respectable of a coach Billy Donovan is, there's only so much he could have done with the talent, or that he could do with the talent that the Bulls have on the court. And yeah, unless they give him better players from the draft and the trade, that they then he's not gonna do much. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they don't develop the talent well enough. You know what I mean? I tried to look at it, comparing it to the pinnacle, which is an OKC, which is a Boston Celtics. I mean, when they're bringing players, not necessarily from high draft picks, getting players from late first round, second round, undrafted, and they make them look like competent basketball players. You know what I mean? And I feel like the
Yeah.
Bulls they've just missed the trick with that. So there's only so much blame you can put on the head coach. But again, there's only you can't turn water to wine if you don't have the necessary players to do
Pieces.
so.
Yeah, exactly. I remember again. I'll hark on to Patrick Williams again. They picked him very high, and people looked at them crazy. And there was people like Tyrese Halliburton in that draft. There was people like Denny Advia, who's an All-Star this year, in that draft. So it goes to show that maybe the scouts as well need to maybe they just need a whole clear out in Chicago,
I'm
because if
saying,
they're trying to be the Bulls again, hey
mm,
man, a lot of heads have to roll, unfortunately,
facts.
because they've been below standard for a long time now, a long time. But as we always say, we'll see in regards to what happens with the Chicago Bulls. I'll be keeping a close eye moving forward, just because I'd like to see if they make the right decision in regards to bringing in the right people. Um, I wanted to talk to you about the Knicks as well, stateside off the Knicks. If
Mm,
we look at the Eastern Conference standings, third in the Eastern Conference standings, it's okay. It's not too shabby, 50-win team as well. That's all right. Fair enough. Uh, the, I have a problem because this was my team to come out of the East. And obviously, Pistons have been very well, and they've been quite decent with Cade out, by the way, which fair enough. I didn't think they were going to be. And obviously, the Celtics, especially since Jason Tatum's come back, yeah, they're looking good. So, in regards to my pick and them coming out of the East, I have my concerns. And the main reason I have my concerns is that I look at their schedule as of recently. Maybe over the course of the season, this is not the case. However, I'm looking at it as of recently because momentum is very important going into the playoffs, right? You need to be playing your best basketball, you know, so you give yourself the best chance to go far.
right.
The numbers and the win losses, like you look at it and it's like, oh, it's actually not that bad because they've lost 3 games in a row here, but outside of that little stretch, at the beginning of the month, they've been really good in the month of March and coming into April as well. But I'm looking at who they're winning against. They went on a what 7 game run. They beat the Jazz, the Pacers, the Warriors, who didn't have Steph Curry, of course, at the time. The Pacers again, the Nets, the Wizards, the Pelicans. Uh, sure, fine. But then you look at the losses that they were taking in that time. I'm looking at the Lakers. I'm looking at the Clippers. I'm looking at the Hornets. I'm looking at the Thunder. I'm looking at the Rockets as well. These are all playoff teams. And if you can let me know if I'm overreacting in regards to what I'm looking in regards to inconsistency, because that's what I'm going to call it. Unfortunately, you can't just beat up bad teams and lose against all the good teams. Inconsistencies are starting to show up in regards to who they're playing. And if you go into the playoffs, I'm not going to lie, that don't look good to me.
I feel like the Knicks remind me of Arsenal a little bit. I feel like there's always noise around the Knicks. When you look at 51 and 28, third in the East, it's respectable. Do you know what I mean? It's more than respectable. It's pretty impressive. I
It's
mean,
pretty
they're only
good.
what 3.5 games behind Boston, who's been balling out
Yeah,
this season.
yeah, they could catch them.
And I hear exactly what you're saying in the sense of if strength of schedule, if you're beating up on the little teams, but then obviously someone will say you can only beat who's in front of you. But then also if you're coming up against teams over 500, they expect you to put up a fight. They expect you to win some of these games, and they're not. Uh, but I'm saying as long as they're healthy going into the playoffs, they'll back themselves. I watched a game last night actually against the Hawks, who are one of the hottest teams in the league. It was a close game, and they put the ball in Brunson's hands, and he won them the game. as long as you have number 11 or whatever his number is, I'm saying the playoffs is about star players. So if you can keep games close, you know what I mean? You saw what they done to the Boston Celtics last year. Albeit it's an anomaly. I mean, if that series happens 10 times out of 10, but New York only win that series that they won last year. Do you know what I mean? But still, I would think they'll learn from their mistakes on it. Of course, this season hasn't been perfect with Cat's shot selection, Cat not getting enough shots. Obviously them winning the NBA Cup. So I'm saying it's been a season of up and downs. But if you've got a winning record, if you've got Jalen Brunson healthy going into the playoffs with Karl Anthony Towns, and obviously like you've beaten a team like the Hawks in a close game when you've got one of the clutchest players in the league. Like I keep saying, as a fan, I'm always going to err on the side of optimism. Do you know what I mean? Because again, New York probably in terms of like media sort of coverage, probably the biggest team in the East in that sense. So there's always going to be um think pieces and talks and stuff. But I'm saying if you're a New York Knicks fan, you just think it's like we've got Cat and Brunson fit and healthy. Bring whoever on. Do you know what I mean? Obviously they beat the Hawks. I think they face them in the first round as things stand right now.
Mm-hmm.
They'll Toronto actually. Yeah, so they got the Raptors. I think New York get them, and they'll probably end up facing the Boston Celtics or Detroit. They beat the Pistons last year. They'll give themselves a good chance of beating these teams. But all I'm saying is, bro, if you're a fan of the Knicks, err on the side of optimism. Do you know what I mean? As long as you've got Brunson and Cat healthy, you can beat
Well,
anyone.
Well, you say that, and Brunson, as you know, has had his injury issues as of recently, and
Mm,
it's so close to playoff time. So you'd like to think, well, those injuries are just not going to go away. So let's say if he does, miss a game here, there, because it's more than possible. That puts then a lot of pressure on Karl Anthony Towns, who hasn't been the most, to his standards anyway, consistent
right.
as he can be or should be. If you're a Knicks fan, how much confidence do you have on? Uh, I guess how much pressure or how much responsibility do you put at the feet of Karl Anthony Towns to at least do his part, especially if it's a case of, Jalen Brunson's not there, Mikal Bridges hasn't been doing it really for the whole season. OG Anunoby, same thing, in and out of the lineup. Josh Hart, who knows what he's going to give you in regards to points. How much pressure are you putting on Karl Anthony Towns to at least just do his part?
You put a lot of pressure on him. Obviously, you hope Brunson is there, but I feel like Cat is good enough to take over games. It'll more so be when Brunson's on the bench, though. Do you know what I mean? Brunson played 40 minutes last night. He'll be fine for the playoffs. But with Cat, there's always gonna be that question mark. And I feel like this whole Cat discourse, I don't know what people expect from Cat. They say, oh, he's too big to be shooting threes or camping out in the perimeter. He should get himself down in the post and stuff like that. But then when you speak to other people about a player like a Shengun, they say he slows down Houston's offense. All he does is post up. All he does is try and back teams down. It clogs up. He's clogging up the lane. But that's how they expect him, Cat Anthony Towns, to play. So it's like, do you want Cat to play old school type basketball? When Shengun does that, he gets shown for it. But when Cat is trying to mix up his game, it's like, oh, play like you were playing the 90s. That's the game. The game's gone past that. Cat can do that, but I'm just saying, I don't know what people really want from Cat, and unfortunately, that talk, that sort of noise is always going to be with Cat to retires. You know what I mean? Because they always put tags on players, and it's very difficult to shake that off. You know?
Yeah, I think it's mainly, at least in my eyes anyway, is, well, I was just looking at his numbers as you was talking there. In regards to like the shooting percentages, they could be higher for somebody of his standards who's supposed to be one
They
of the
could.
best shooting big men, of all time. So it's like, if you're not, then you should lean on, you're quite a good, post player, so you might as well lean on that, especially if your shot's not falling, because you not making threes is also not helping us win at the same time. So I understand that. That's why I asked you the question in regards to, the pressure that's on his plate, just because if he's not doing it and Brunson's not doing it, Knicks ain't doing anything. And if Brunson's doing it, unfortunately, as good as he is, can't do it by himself. So there's always going to be that, Cat, we're looking at you, even though you're not shooting it as well as you can. You've got to do something, because if it's not you, we're probably not going to win. And the ultimate goal for the Knicks, as it has been for the last, I don't even know how many years now, we've got to win a championship, because we haven't had one in time. So, as you always say, let's see. What the Knicks
It's
are
more so
going to
the
be in?
defense. It's more so the defense from Cam
Oh
and
yes.
to
Oh, but I think them man, they understand that. Look, the defense is going to be is what it is. Like you're supposed to be an offensive player. Do something, you know?
they're probably gonna have to chuck a bit more zone in there to try and protect them both, in my opinion. That's what
Yeah.
done with like Jokic and Murray. Do you know what I mean? As great of offensive players as they are, they play more zone to more so on a team defense sort of thing. So you can't really attack one soft spot. You know what I mean? Which the Knicks have got two.
Let's switch gears to our final team that we're looking at today on the Stateside Report UK episode 80. The 76ers. I don't know, maybe they're back. Stateside, maybe it's looking all rosy. You know, the Embiid is healthy, he's playing games. I saw him, cooking Wemby. I can't lie, he was deep frying him in stages,
It
you know.
was travel that he hit 1-3 on.
That looked clean to me, by the way. That looked clean to me.
Bro, that's never happened in Stern's NBA, man. I mean, look at what they desensitized fans saying it looks clean. Bro, he traveled back to Cameroon and came back, bro. I'm not hearing that.
But hey man, the stat lines he scored over 30. He deep
Yeah, I'm about
fried
to check
the thing.
tonight.
You see DJ Edgecombe, man, what he's been doing for the whole year. Maxi PG, he's been looking all right. They gave him a new theme song. That's how much he's winning back the streets. Do you know what I mean? So Stateside up, for lack of better words, are you picking up what the Sixers are putting down?
Shout out Sam. You know what I mean? Your
Ah,
boy. You know
Sam
what I mean?
Harris, he's a happy boy right now.
When he first came on, I think Philly were like 5-0 or something like that, and
Yeah,
we're talking
beginning
about
of the
championship.
season. Uh-huh.
We're talking championship talk. But right now, we just won one. We just want to win one series, man. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, yeah. I mean, hey, like I'm saying, health is everything for this Sixers team. I mean, they want to go into the postseason with Paul George, Edgecombe, Embiid, and Maxi healthy. And Maxi didn't really give you much against the Spurs, only 15 points. I mean, 8 assists, but still, you want more
Mm.
from Maxi. I feel like Maxi has to be the best player for the Sixers for them to do something, because I feel like his gravity more so than Embiid's will benefit the other two. Will benefit an Embiid, will benefit a Paul George, and even Edgecombe as well. Because I think when Maxi's at his best, he's hard to guard. You know what I mean? He's hard to stay in front of. He can get to the free throw line. He can shoot. He has no range. You know what I mean, in terms of his 3-point shooting.
Mm.
Defense as well. They've got competent defenders. Obviously, you try and stagger Joel Embiid. He played almost 40 minutes, bro. What's Nick Nurse trying to do to Embiid, bro?
You just,
He played Embiid 40 minutes in the regular
we
season.
need to see where you're at, big fella.
Bro, what? Bro, he played Edgecombe 41. Bro, what the hell? Embiid ain't got 40 minutes in them knees anymore, man. There's no cartilage in there. 40 minutes. Trying to kill him. But, hey, I'm saying 34 and 12 with 4 blocks, that's something. But who would
So
they have in
then,
the first round? Who would
I
they
was
have?
going to say, look, what would stop you from saying that Philly can get out of the first round on whoever they face? Because you think of the things that you just outlined there. They have all the offensive pieces to, at least as individuals, to be, a handful for many, many teams in the league. Defensively, it's going to be a bit awkward in moments, but they have pieces in there like, when Paul George is locked in. Maxi's okay on the defensive end, Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre is there, Andre Drummond that comes off the bench, Bono's over there as well. They've got good defenders on that team, and they've got a really, really good coach in Nick Nurse in regards to he is very adaptable in regards to what he has. He'll make it very tough for whoever's on the opposing side to make it happen for the Sixers. So what's stopping you then in that case from saying that, first round, after that, you can start dreaming?
I mean, you got to look at the first round, because if they're to get into the playoffs, they're facing either Detroit, Boston, or New York. Most likely Boston or Detroit.
They couldn't do something with Detroit in the way they're currently constructed?
Possibly, but I can't. I mean, I even made a video yesterday on my TikTok saying, let's not sleep on Detroit. I mean, they're a very hard team this season anyway to kill off, to beat. I mean, they make things very scrappy. They make things very ugly, and a lot of teams are uncomfortable playing in that sort of environment. But they live in that. So I don't know if the Sixers will thrive in that type of series, but ultimately the Sixers just want to be back in the playoffs. You know what I mean, they're 7th right now, half a game back of Toronto and 6. So if they get the 6th spot, they're facing New York. But again, it could flip. There's a couple of days left of the season. But ultimately, their thing is, let's get into the playoffs, and then we'll figure it out after.
I'm sorry, I'm just watching NBA TV right now, and that Joel Embiid, that was a travel.
Bro, It's a piss take, man. When I saw him run up, I'm like, did I just? And then they showed the
Yeah,
replay,
like
and
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When you watch anything in slow motion, it
enough's
makes it look
enough.
worse. Yeah, you know what I mean, it makes it look worse than it is. Um, anyway, stateside dump. Shall we
Christ,
play one more? Before we do, what's silly me? Got some headlines to run you through stateside dump. What am I doing?
let's do it.
Doing. I've only done 80 of these. Bloody hell. The headlines doing the rounds in the NBA at the minute. Before we get to our last game, uh, the toxic. The situation in the Bucks has become toxic because of Giannis's trade saga, reports Shams Charania. It's created a tense locker room, and it's the blame for their losing season. Bit harsh, if I would say so myself. In regards to these are grown men, mind your business. I understand that Giannis is very key to what you're trying to do, but you know it's not his fault that you lot can't play. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong at all. And I feel like someone's saying Giannis wants to play because obviously his brothers, Alex and Thanasis, they've been getting a bit of game time. So he kind of wants that whole, historic sort of,
Why not?
all three as the combos playing and stuff. But
Mm.
like I said, the Bucks they've got other plans. You know what I mean? But hey, when stories like this come out, you just know, yeah, Giannis days in Milwaukee are numbered, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm definitely sure she saw Stephen Curry and Seth Curry play together for the first time. By the way, do you remember when we reported it all the way in the summer with Slim Dookie that Seth Curry was on the team? The other Curry is now, the other Curry, and now they just played together for the first time. I know, crazy, crazy. But hey, man, Giannis wants a piece. Ain't gonna get a piece, unfortunately. If he does, it's got to be on another team. I'd like to think Thanasis will be straight on the plane with Giannis wherever he goes.
Attached to his
You know,
hip.
yeah, man. In other news, the University of North Carolina have hired Mike Malone, the ex-Nuggets championship-winning coach, as the men's coach for UNC. It's a bit of a surprising move. It's always surprising to me, especially when they've won at the highest level. The NBA coaches make that step down to college. I guess I'd like to think Mike Malone had his suitors, but maybe he just needed a change of pace. I don't know. States had of. What do you make of
Yeah,
it?
I mean, it's always refreshing to see that. I always like when people kind of go against the grain a bit, when it kind of go outside the box a bit, and obviously it's beneficial for both parties. I mean, you've got a college team that's getting um, a NBA champion. I mean, someone that's coached the best player in the world for multiple seasons. They've been deep in the playoffs. That knows what it takes at the highest level. So he'll have that cachet. I mean, when he's speaking to the players, whether it's the older players, the new players, they'll listen to him because he's got credit in the bank. You know what I mean? And also with Mike Malone, college basketball's a completely different game. It's almost stripped back to its rawest form of basketball. So it'll kind of take him back to, learning, well, not learning, but like experiencing like the basic side of things rather than, having all the best athletes in the world, having the best player in the world, and coaching from that. So it'll make UNC a better team, and it'll make Mike Malone a better coach. I think
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He was a coach for my Kings for a long time. He was, if I'm not mistaken,
Malone?
my favorite center's favorite coach. He
He
was
was
all
he
right
was
for
one of
us.
your assistant coaches,
He was the head coach.
Mike Malone.
And he was Mike Malone. He was the head before he went to the Nuggets. He was the Kings coach for a while.
Really?
Unceremoniously sacked in favor of George Karl, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
Really?
so that just tells you right there. Yeah, I know.
Fair enough.
So he's been a good coach for a long time, and now he obviously years of experience, championship.
Yeah.
UNC got that's a good grab for them. It's a good grab.
Who's that? Who's that football coach? NFL coach that was Coach Harbaugh, I think his name is, or something like that.
Went to the Chargers.
Yes, but
Mm.
he was a some college coach or something like that. No.
Yeah, he was a college coach for a long time. I think a very successful one, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah.
Um, it's always interesting to see why and how they float in between, back, forth,
Yeah.
because like you said, the game's completely different in it. But I guess if you can coach, you can coach in it. It's one of them ones.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah,
know.
I mean that whole thing reminded me of that Coach Harbaugh guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Finally, LeBron James has responded to criticism of Memphis in his most recent Mind the Game podcast episode, saying, "What's wrong with what I said? I didn't say anything incorrect." And the Brunsexuals, you know what they've done? They've gone in the archives, and I found every single NBA person that has slagged off Memphis in the past to say,
And
"Look,
stayed looped of
Yeah, there's a
people.
lot of people that say Memphis ain't it in regards to, staying out there overnight.
Right,
I like to think the players, yeah, they're living in luxury, but if you're a visitor, yeah, they're gonna make it as hard for you as possible.
right.
There's no question off the back of this stateside off. I just find it funny.
I mean, bro, anything LeBron says is always what do you call it? It's headline news.
Yeah, it's
The only
blown
thing that
up.
cracked me up was when he was on the golf court and he literally, bro, he complete code switch. Bro, he did not sound like LeBron. Bro, I was
I
cracking
hear
up
it.
with this on Instagram.
I
I
hear
don't
it,
think
bruv.
people understand how important code switching is. Because I was
It
watching,
gets
I
you,
was like, why does Bron sound so different to me?
bro. I'm showing you. If you want to relate to someone, just come to their level, bruv. I'm
You have
showing
to.
you.
You have
Have
to.
to,
You have
man.
to play at the level of your opponent, bro. It's the best
Yeah,
way.
bruv.
Best way.
Sometimes you have to go away. You can't play at home every time, you know?
You can't. You can't. You have to be adaptable, man. You know what I mean? Obviously, yeah. So that really is what cracked me up. But bro, the whole thing with Memphis, like you said, a bag of players said, they hate Memphis.
Oh, for the
So
last like 20 years, it seems like,
that's what I'm saying. But
it's
LeBron
been
say
issue.
everyone's up in arms, man.
Yeah, man,
They just want to talk about Memphis because there ain't nothing going on over there.
Oh, 100%. Ja gonna be out there. I don't know what the future is over there in Memphis. I couldn't even tell you where they are in the West right now. I could probably go check actually. I
Somewhere.
got it right here. They
I
are
made a video on
13th.
TikTok. Bro. I made a video on TikTok. Someone tweeted saying, "Oh, it's a bit disappointing, like seeing how Zion and Ja right now are a little bit, you
Uh,
know,
it
average
is.
right now in the league,
Yeah,
and like
it is
just coming
because
up and they're not even in it."
these are the players that we thought were going to be the next faces. And like especially I can imagine especially the American audience,
Facts.
they're extremely unhappy in regards to the levels that they have failed to reach, where they're seeing Canadians, Europeans, Africans, people are surpassing them. It seems like every
Lap,
day.
bro. Lap.
Yeah, exactly, running laps. So I'm not mad specifically, personally. Don't really care. I
The
just want to see
quality,
good hoops.
the quality,
Exactly.
exactly. Literally, the quality is good anyway. So
Cream always rises to the top, as they say.
facts.
Stacey, I don't know if we've ran you through everything going on. As I always say, like, share, comment, rate, subscribe if you like what you're hearing on Stateside Report UK episode 80. Before we end it, shall I play one more game?
Let's play one more game. Let's do it.
I'm not asking you for a year. I'm not asking you for a month. I'm just asking you for one more game
One more game.
of Spin the Wheel. Because you love Spin the Wheel.
Why do I keep losing this wheel? Where the hell? Okay, it's here. It's here. It's here. It's here.
There you go,
It's
Stacey.
here.
Because I was going to call you an OAP. I
It's here.
shouldn't, because
It's
that's
here.
what we're here to talk about. You've heard of, and you've seen your Celtic Shacks, your Brooklyn KGs. Some would say your Sixers PG. Not these
You
days.
like my
But
fire.
and I thought, why not? Better way, season's ending. Let's have a bit of fun, lads. Me and
Mm.
Stateside Up, we're individually gonna spin the wheel and we're gonna build our best washed up stars. Stateside Up, can you do that for me? Can you do that for the people?
Let's do it. It's gonna take a bit of thinking, but you will get there. We'll get
Oh,
there.
this is a piece of your ball knowledge. The ball knowledge is very prevalent in this day and age
My
of
ball
NBA
knowledge is up
fandom.
there, man.
Oh
Yeah, man.
well, your quizzes. We haven't done a quiz in a while as well, by the way.
Yeah,
But
let's not. Let's
you,
not.
you
Let's not.
I think I went first last week. So how would you like to go first this week? Show the
Spin.
camera.
Yeah, we're spinning that.
Show the camera. Spin the wheel.
Minnesota
Tell us your
Timberwolves.
first. Oh, okay. Who's been a has been that's been on the Timberwolves?
That has been on the Timberwolves.
A has
What,
been that has been.
are you
There
saying
has
they were
been a
washed when they were on the Timberwolves?
yes.
Yeah, give me KG when he got back. When
No,
after
I'm not having that. No, 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 no. You can't have that. You can't have that. His jersey's gonna be up in the rafters.
KG in 2015.
You can't have that.
Hey,
You can't have.
right. Timberwolves. I'd say like Corey Brewer or something like that.
Stinky. I can give you a few. I can think of.
Yeah.
I can think of D Rose. I can think
Drop
of.
50.
I can
D-Rose
think
drop
of Taj
50.
Gibson.
Taj Gibson. Oh my gosh. Yeah, give
Yeah,
me Taj Gibson. I can't
yeah,
put D-Rose there because D-Rose actually got his career high in Minnesota.
that's very true. That's very true. Jeff Teague is on that team as well. Uh, Yeah, Taj. Yeah, that's
Give me
gonna. I
Taj
think that'd
Gibson.
probably be
Give
the
me Taj
pick.
Gibson.
I can't think of another one off the top of my head. So I think it's gonna have to be.
Yeah, give me Taj
Please
Gibson at
one more time.
4. Spin again.
Spin again. Give us the next OAP, overage pensioner.
The Toronto Raptors.
There's been some OAPs that have been on this. There's definitely been a few. There definitely has.
Patrick Ewing.
Oh, that's a deep pull. Was he a
Yeah,
Raptor? I'd have to check that.
double check that for me, please. Yeah, so
Yeah, I'll double check that because the ball knowers might tell me that I've been a
I
terrible
wasn't
ref.
alive at that time as well, by the way. For whoever else is listening.
He was not on the Raptors, but you know who was? Hakeem Olajuwon was.
Hakeem is the one I'm thinking of. Hakeem is the one I'm thinking of. Give me a Hakeem Olajuwon. Not Patrick
Yeah.
Ewing.
Yeah. Fairs.
Patrick Ewing on a different team. My bad.
There you go. Well, the front court is
Um,
sorted at least. Taj Gibson and Hakeem Olajuwon of the Raptors. Yikes.
good God. Sacramento Kings. I can let you pick anyone. Let me see the current. Let me see the current.
Yeah, dark. Dark.
Hey, who's the guy that you lot gave the 10-day to? The mixed race guy. What's his
Ah,
name?
Killian Hayes, but like
Killian
He
Hayes.
doesn't.
Give me Killian Hayes at a point.
I don't know if he fits in the
No,
criteria though, because he's a young man. Do you know what I mean?
to be
He's a
fair,
young man.
he wasn't all that to
Yeah, and he
begin with.
wasn't good anyway. You know what I mean?
Because you have to be good to be washed.
Yeah, and we've got a few to be fair. Westbrook, DeRozan.
West, oh my God. Give me my
Yeah,
PG Westbrook at a point.
yeah,
Yeah, give me Westbrook at a point.
Doc.
Good Lord.
I
Shout
think
out to
Westbrook's been in a few of these actually. Funny enough.
the New York Knicks, the Knickerbockers.
The Knickerbockers.
Who else?
It's been some
What
pensioners in
names?
there. D Rose again springs to mind
D
immediately.
Rose, yeah, D Rose.
Tracy McGrady.
McGrady played for New York.
Yeah,
He did.
remember back end of his career.
So I got my 5. I got my 1-4-5. I need my 2 and 3.
You got Taj Gibson already.
Taj Gibson's at the 4. Hakeem at the Raptors is the 5.
Now you got Russ already.
And then Russ at the 1. So I need a 2 and a 3.
Yeah, you need some wings.
I do need some wings right now. Give me, you know what? Give me D Rose at the 2. Give me D Rose at the 2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
For my 3, spin it.
You need to spin the wheel. Give me an OAP at the 3.
The Houston Rockets.
Threes that have been used to Rockets as of recently. No, PJ Tucker was good for the Rockets, man. He was alright. He was alright for them. Robert Covington wasn't great on the Rockets.
Covington wasn't great. But then I'm saying like a star player that's
Kevin Durant.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. What? Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Jeff Green.
Jeff. Yeah, but he's always kind of been a role player though.
Yeah, it's been
And
old.
I need a 3.
I need 3.
3, 4.
No, I'm joining you in this. I'm joining you in the search. As of right now, Trevor Ariza was good for the Rockets. To be fair, he was good. Can I think of Shane Battier? He was alright. He was okay for the Rockets. Ron Artest.
I thought of him. I thought of Ron Artest. Yeah, give me Ron Artest. Give me
It's
Ron
not bad
Artest.
though. List. Go on.
So
Who's
Westbrook, D Rose, Ron Artest, Taj Gibson, and Hakeem Olajuwon for the Raptors. Ooh-wee.
That stinks of a smelly fart right there, mate. Sorry.
And that's exactly what I'm going for. That's exactly what I'm going for.
But man, can mine be stinkier? We're spinning the wheel. All the old farts. I want them all. The New Orleans Pelicans is my first one.
I mean,
Some washed. Oh, DeAndre Jordan, easy.
DeAndre Jordan, that's your 5 set.
Yeah.
You could have even gone with Zion. If you really wanted to.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Say it, bro. Guy was meant to be the guy, man.
Oh, it was. It really was. the Atlanta Hawks.
Yo,
You didn't take T-Mac, so I'm eligible to take him. To be fair,
mm,
I am eligible. Thinking over the last few years, who's been really washed has come to the Hawks.
I was gonna say Paul Millsap, but he actually done well.
No, it was decent for the Hawks. It was decent. Al Horford was decent for the Hawks as well.
Joe Johnson was decent as well.
It was decent for the Hawks. Oh, he was very good for the Hawks. In fact, he was
He
very good. He
was.
was awesome. I'm gonna take Tracy. I'm gonna take T-Mac. I am T-Mac for
Yeah.
the Hawks. That's my pick. Jeff Teague has some funny stories about T-Mac on his podcast. He's a good listen. I like Jeff Teague podcast. How do you feel about Jeff Teague?
Yeah, I catch like little snippets here and there on like Twitter and stuff like that.
Got the Raptors. Got the Raps as
The
well.
rap,
The Raps. You've
rap.
already taken Hakeem. Some OAPs. Andrea Bagiani, but he wasn't old. He was just rubbish. A man called Morris Peterson comes to my mind for some reason.
The Raptors.
Charlie Villanueva. I might take him. He's another funny podcaster, by the way. I like his.
Yeah.
He's quite. Yeah,
But
I
then
do like.
was he decent?
He was just kind of. He was mid to below average, I'd say. Trying to think Damari Carroll, if you remember him.
I remember Demar Carroll.
The LeBron stopper.
He played for Atlanta as well, no?
He played for Atlanta as well. He was decent for the Hawks.
He was.
Well, great for the Raptors though, and they paid him quite a bit of money as well. Am I taking Damari Carroll for the sake of time? Hold on, now I can think of somebody. I'm cheating if I take one of the champions. If I take like Serge or like Marc Gasol, because they won a ring, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're remembered fondly.
Other teams were better washed players, but for some reason, if the wheel don't hit,
Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna take Damari Carroll for sake of time. I'm gonna take it, but there's somebody better out there though. There's somebody better out there.
I just know you randomly think about it later on. It's like,
I will, and I'll text you, and I'll be like, "It's my man. How did I do this? How did I do this?" Anyway, we're spinning the wheel one more time. I got the Portland Trailblazers. I'm taking Carmelo Anthony. Easy pick.
let's
Easy
move on.
Easy pickums. If you had OKC, you could have taken them yourself, to be fair.
Could have taken a bunch.
Yeah, man. So what I've got, who's my team? I've got DeAndre Jordan, I've got Damari Carroll, I've got Carmelo. Did I pick somebody else? I don't think so.
You got
Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady.
I need a point guard. I've got the Knicks. Ooh, Alfred Payton comes to mind.
Raymond Felton.
Ooh, no, I think I want to say he was decent for the Knicks. He was decent.
He was, to be fair. It's just more so OKC when he came in. You're like, yeah. That pound.
He was just mad chubby. I don't know why. You know.
Bro, he was stoutly built, man.
Yeah, man. There's probably someone like in the like 90s that I'm just not thinking of. Like, just Stephon Marbury was decent. It was alright for the Knicks.
Yeah.
It was alright.
John Starks.
You know, am I taking? Is Alfred Payton the best I can do? Who was the? I know he got a couple triple doubles here there for them, but he went
Dennis
it though.
Smith Jr. Was he up there?
Oh, he went
He was
great.
high
But he wasn't- but he went, and I wouldn't say he was an OAP.
He was.
I think he's at Real Madrid. Funny enough, Dennis Smith Jr. I think so. Yeah. I think so.
I mean, good career choice for him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Why not? You know.
New York guards.
I'm thinking it's probably who's Jalen Brunson's backup these days. Oh, it's Deuce McBride, and he's decent, and he's not.
Right.
Yeah, it might have to be Alfred Payton. You know.
Payton, sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
He
be
was in
Alfred
Orlando as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Orlando for a long time. I want to say he came back into the league fairly recently. By the way, let me just confirm or deny. He could be in the G League. For right now, for what I know, Alfred Payton. Yeah, he was on the Pelicans. No, This is a post from 2025. He was most recently on the Pelicans. I knew it. He's in the Austin Spurs these days. He's in the G League.
Good God.
There you go. So all that stolen for time. I think I lost the game. I think I lost the spin the
Yeah,
wheel.
I'm
Teammate
saying
as watched these balls.
there's a lot of washed players, but if you don't get the right team, if you don't get like the Lakers or the Spurs or OKC, you know
It's
where
tough.
people actually come to like try and chase for championships.
Yeah,
It's
it's tough. Golden State, them teams there. Funny enough, as soon as I do that, I get the Bucks. I could have taken PG Tucker there or something. It's crazy. If you spin the wheel one more time, who's the last team that you would have gotten? Who could have? Is there anybody there that could have resurrected your team?
uh,
You put some star power in it, maybe.
still, well, coming off the bench,
Yeah, 6 man. You know what? I'll
Char-
take a 6 man. I'll
the
take Kyle Kuzma. That's my 6 man. There you go.
the Charlotte Hornets. Who's coming off the bench for the Hornets?
I don't know for you still. You got like I don't
I
know.
can't go
Oh
Kemba.
no, you do. Nicholas Batum.
Team, yeah, I could go
He
with
was he was
Batum.
stinky.
Yeah,
He was
they hate him
stinky.
over there.
Yeah. They paid him all that money to do Nish.
Yeah, I'm saying you just need the right team and you're set.
Literally, bruv. Literally. So like my team in the end was unfortunately Alfred Payton, Tracy McGrady, Damari Carroll, Carmelo Anthony, DeAndre Jordan. Yikes.
Wow.
It's fine. I think your team beat man. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Westbrook, D Rose. Who else did I have?
Hakeem, Taj Gibson.
Team, Taj Gibson, and
Who's your three? Don't remember.
no, I didn't take T Mac.
No. I don't remember now.
Same. I should be writing stuff like this down.
I know, right? Same. Yeah, pen and paper should be nearby. It's just
It
not always.
washed for a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Because they're not supposed to be memorable like that sometimes.
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no. It's up for
That's
the
a
hype.
good game
Anyway,
though.
yeah, of course, mate. Of course, mate. Spin the wheel, never in doubt. Spin the wheel, mate. You know how it goes. But we're Danski's Stateside Anthem. The regular season is coming to an end.
It's been a
I'm
long season.
disappointed, but I'm excited for the playoffs, though.
100%. It's been a long old season, man. But we've been here every week. Do you know what I mean? So credit to us, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. In the dog days, in the good days, we're
That's what I'm
always
saying.
here. And in the playoffs, don't change. It doesn't
That's what I'm saying.
change.
Try and bring good content, the best guests that we can find that represent these teams. Playoff comes around, that's where we'll step up our game as well. Do you know what I mean? It's postseason, so we'll all be playing up to their level. But yeah, like I'm saying, like you say, like, share, subscribe. If you have any opinions and stuff, put them in the comments. We want to hear from you guys as well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a great reminder, by the way, because during our MVP chat, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to shout out the stateside the faithfuls, because man, they were kind of cooking you. Well, yeah, they were kind of cooking you in regards to your MVP takes. As I said, earlier, there was a lot of people that say you ask 10 people who's the MVP, you get 10 different answers. And some of the comments that I was seeing on some of the platforms, I was like, damn, the people are really into this right now. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Before I let you go,
what have I done now?
yeah, maybe we should make this one of the games. You have to, answer the stateside comment section. I don't know. Bear with me.
Wait, from which video is this?
This is from the most recent video. Who is your MVP? 10 comments on this page. Here we go. There's I'm gonna read a few of them for you.
The Instagram.
Yeah, on the Instagram, on the YouTube as well, by the way. So the YouTubers.
But I'm always either on Twitter or on TikTok.
Well, then on the Instagram, there is only one flopper and one free-for merchant in this three guys. Bros bashing Shea, not OKC. Shea individually winning MVP because of his team success. Brain dead take. Dudes will say anything to get Shea in that combo. I'm gonna go to YouTube as well to quickly get this one because it sprung my interest. And then obviously, I'll let you respond to the commenters. I'm gonna make this a regular feature, by the way. I think.
Top 3 winning record doesn't matter. Wow.
Yeah. See, I'm showing you. There's people out here that's like, damn. We even had someone unsubscribe from that. I'm showing you. People weren't messing with you. Here we go. This is the one. It's a bit long, but I'll try shorten it as much as I can. I am a Wemby fan, French guy here. I agree with the honesty, and I agree with he needs to step up in his terms of production, blah, blah, blah. But To saying that you need to see what he can do in the playoffs to vote him as MVP is stupid. You vote based off of the regular season. The playoffs do not effing count. It's a very much long-winded answer there, but that's the crux of it.
Wow.
To what do you say to the stateside universe that that don't agree with you in regards to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? He's being overblown as a favorite. Let's just say it like that.
Well, I'd like to extend my sincerest apologies to absolutely no one. They ain't got a clue what they're talking about. What? Shea, of course, is the MVP, and you guys are gonna be sick to your stomach in a couple of weeks' time when he does hoist up his second MVP. And hey, let me not even count my chickens before it's hatched. Might go back to back on with the real thing as well. Do you know what I mean? But I'm saying that, like I keep saying, we know where the MVP resides. So why are we trying to play stupid for? We know where he resides. We know where he's at. So I'm saying let's not do this. Yeah, I mean, Shea's led the best team with the best record for 3 years straight, but he gets shone for it. MJ was doing that in the '90s, was winning championships. What's it called? LeBron came out saying SG, he reminds him of MJ. I said this on one of my TikTok lives the other day. SGA, he's the MJ of today's era. The best player on the best team. If he obviously he adds more championships to it, he's gonna be winning MVPs. With how he plays, it's too consistent. There's no holes in his game. There's no holes in this argument. You can't be bored of winning because that's what you're supposed to do night in night out. That's the pinnacle. That's what these teams achieve to do, and that's what SGA does night in night out in the postseason. He's obviously going to perform better in the postseason as he goes along because he'll be acclimated to that environment. But I'm saying, why did MJ got praised for having the best players on the best team, dominating the league left, right, and center for a whole decade? But why the hell is Shea getting shone for having the best defensive team? Bearing in mind, it's a very, very flawed offensive team. But who covers up all those flaws? Shea. He does that. He makes the team what it looks like. Some people misconstrue it and say it's a super team. It's a team full of late first rounders, second rounders, undrafted players. You have to give credit to the organization and how they scout and how they play and develop these guys. But ultimately, like you said, the cream rise to the top. And who is at the top? SGA. Come on, man. We know this. So why are we playing stupid? Yeah, I mean, yeah, our guys want to act all emotional in the comment section, but we know who the MVP is. We know where he resides in OKC. So that's what I have to say on that.
Please like, share, comment, rate, subscribe, all that jazzy stuff. Me and
Okay,
Stateside Dump.
man. Honestly,
Me and Stateside Dump. Back again next week. I hope so.
bro, you want to fall in love with the shiny new toy, man. Come on, man.
Uh,
Focus, guys. Focus.
there we go.
Anyway, there's
Until
that one, man.
then, on Ted. Until then, lads. Until next week. Take it easy.
I mean, I try and act all professional at these little